Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we are doing the second part of my Poldise trail guide. Now I came up here expecting to be able to do the big jumps and do a guide on those, especially axe line and dirt bag, which are the biggest jumps here, and unfortunately, as it always seems to happen to me, it's absolutely breezy. The wind is absolutely nuts and there's no way that you can safely do the big jumps, especially on a bit of a solo session. So I thought what would be a good idea is to talk about the trails that are rideable when it is windy, because it being windy here, it's so exposed. We're on one side of a valley, the wind just blows straight down through, and more often than not it is too windy. So if you come up here and you want to ride but you're not sure which ones to ride because the wind is so sketchy, then I'm going to show you which ones are good. And we're going to start with Burminator, which is just there. We're going to walk down it and have a quick look and then do a couple laps, and hopefully you guys find this informative. This is the second one. You can catch the first one, which I did Ridge Racer and Fine Line, which is like the long enduro trail and a slightly jumpy line. You can catch that just up in the top corner here. Let's get to it. Cheers guys. So as with pretty much all of the trails here, we're starting at the very top next to this mine shaft that goes down super deep. This is where all the runs go off. You can see multiple ones. This is Fine Line Ridge that we did last time, and we're going to be heading down this way, so let's go have a quick look. So guys, once you've gone down the roll-in from the very top, you're met with this first chute, which isn't too steep, but it gives you a good amount of speed. It's actually quite fun to pre-jump down into it, use it as a bit of a pump jump. And then you're greeted with this first berm, super mellow, but it's so quite loose, quite solid at the top, so you can really push into it. You get the back wheel sliding out, and then you've got the next berm, so you kind of come flying around here and you switch between the two berms. It's like what, and then we have this sick little double, and it flows super well because you're coming out of this berm, you're coming across slightly, then you just pop round. Really cool stuff. And the sun has come out to greet us, which is lovely. Fortunately, this trail is out of the wind almost entirely until you get to the closer to the bottom. So even this jump and everything, you don't have to worry about the wind catching you. It's really nice and shaded from the wind. And then once you've done your sick scrub or just sent this jump here, and then you hit this berm, which is super catchy, then you can almost jump out of this one into the next one. They're all quite worn down, but surprisingly the berms work super well. It's quite good really. And then you have a trail fork. Now the way you want to go for Berminature World is that way. This way is called Big Ten, which has some big jumps on it. Unfortunately it's too windy, it's too sketchy. We'll come back to this another day, but this is where Berminature goes. And this is super mellow. I've had issues where I've almost gone straight over the edge here because it's almost like it should be banked up into a berm. And then we have probably one of the coolest looking berms at Poldise. So cool. Once you've blasted your way around this super picturesque looking berm, you come through here, little kicker, you jump over these roots, which can feel quite sketchy first time you do it, but you'll definitely clear them. They're like sniper roots, but you'll land down here and get a boost from that. Then you pop out off of these roots up onto the flat. Then we've got a little kicker. So this is the best thing about this trail, is there's jumps but they're not so sketchy. You can really see the wind now though on the trees. This is why it gets dangerous. And then a little step down, and then we have probably not maybe the second biggest gap. Pretty small, easy to send, just pop straight off it, and then it carries on that way. So now what we're going to do is ride this top section a couple times, just get familiar with it. Hopefully you guys will be able to use it as a bit of a perspective when you come and ride this spot, and then we'll carry on, look at the next jump and then the next berms, and then all the way down to the bottom. So let's go give it a ride. Let's have a little blast on that top section. It's one of the more fun intermediate trails here. Hop this around the berm, super loose, hip, berm, and you can hit this little thing, super nice berm, jump down over the roots, hop up, step down, gap. Really nice. That's probably the best flow I've got on this trail, to be honest. And if any of you guys watching this aren't subscribed yet, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell button next to that. That notifies you when I post a video and helps me out so much. Let's get back to the trail guide. Let's do it. So we'll cruise through this little section, just because there's not much point in walking it. You come out of those jumps at the bottom, and you blast through here, super overgrown, stuff grabbing at your bars, and then you roll in, drop in here. You're building up quite a lot of speed. Now you may notice this big jump here. This is called Dirtbag, and this is not going to be hit today because of the wind. I think it's like 30 foot, something like that. And I've actually 50-50 cased this before. I don't have footage of that, I don't think, but I do have some shots of me sending it, so I'll put them in. Such a sick little bit of trail, and we'll definitely cover this in a trail guide because I think this is a lot of the hype is around this jump. But on Bermondsey World, you come, we've obviously just done all that bushwhacking there, and then you come through here, you start building up some speed, and you hit this jump here. Now, even in this wind, this jump is floaty and you'll get pushed either way. So just try and squash it down, because I guarantee you'll feel the wind. If you can feel it on this one, imagine what you can feel on this one. So if you're here, don't hit this in strong winds because it's not a good idea. Yeah, see right on the landing, we got a nice breeze, which is actually coming from that way. So you'll get pushed this way, which isn't fun. So we're coming off this jump, landing down the landing, and then you're going off to the left here because that's where the rest of the berms are. This is another trail which technically carries on from the Dirtbag jump we just looked at. Really start to feel the wind here, but that's fine because you've cleared the jumps. As long as you've made that one we just looked at, you've made it through the jumps, and then we start going back into some more berms. Woo! Drop me goggles. I'm flying down through here, and what you actually want to do, because there's two berms coming up, what you want to do is pop off the left here instead of going off the right, because there's actually quite a big gully down here. You don't want to get stuck in that, set you up badly for the corner. Stay left, pop off, land here, and then quite washed out at the start, so you kind of want to cut in to make the most of the big berm bits. It's really loose. I nearly lost my front tire and all this silty stuff here because it's so loose. And you're keeping on going, and we've got the next berm. So as you can see, jump in, stay left, smash this one, then you've got a super tight one, which you kind of come into and just slap. Give it a good old whack. And then another one. These are just berms. There's not really a massive amount to say, except that this one's quite tight, and you can come out of the other one front heavy and then get in a bit of a predicament where you're too front heavy, you get stopped in the berm and fall over. Yeah, and this berm's nice, it catches you and you keep on going. Yet another berm. I wonder why it's called Bermondsey World. Is it because there's so many berms on it? Terrible. So what we'll do now is what we did with the top section. We've had a look at this section, we'll go up and ride it a couple times, and then we'll carry on to the next section down there, which has a drop, another berm, quite a steep little section I think, so let's do it. Nothing can fill you with more fear at Pole Dice than seeing that. Quite some view though. Okay, so dropping in on this bit, obviously you'd have a lot more speed from those jumps, but for this section it doesn't matter so much. Whacking through the bushes, drop down onto this, and you got the bit of speed here. I'm touching the brakes just so, whoa, washy with the wind. I knew that would happen. Stick left into the berm, manual out, hit this berm, drop down into this berm, woo! Then you got the little catch berm. You really feel the wind on that gap jump. Cool, so now we've looked at the very top section. This section, we pieced it together. Let's carry on down. Now, you come out of these two berms, you got the switchbacks into this catch berm, where I've been stopping here, and then we keep going. And this bit's pretty plain sailing. Some sniper rocks all around, but you just keep going through. And then you've got this actually really cool berm that has a super nice view as well. Not that you're really paying attention to the view as you're riding, but you come into this berm, come flying through here, and then this section's really cool because it's like a exposed little bit of single track, and you come flying down through. You can really let off the brakes here. Watch out for this sniper rock here. You can actually see where people have clanged their pedals on it. And this little rock garden, it's quite steep, super overgrown. You kind of got one line that you can smash through. Just let off the brakes, straight down through. Then you got some mellow corners. This bit is quite simple, nice and smooth, nothing too much to worry about. and you've got this really cool doorway in the trees where the trail drops away. And this is probably, I reckon, the hardest part of the trail. You've got the jump at the top, which isn't super challenging, but you've got this here. Now you've got a drop that you can go off here, but the wind is actually chopping across pretty hard. And then you've got, careful in the wet, because you've got sniper route. You come down through, it's quite blind, and you're basically wanting to either cut down through here and snake down through. There's this exposed rock here, there's a little step, and then it actually drops away again there. So you want to be careful, and you basically want to snake down through for the easiest line. I imagine you could send it off this, gassed flat, straight down, but I reckon best line is either root, step to out, or just kind of snake down through. And you can see where people have actually skidded their back tire on this rock. But it's definitely a feature to be, you don't want to bin it on this. It's actually quite a small drop, but the gradient coming out of it is super steep. And then that is the end of the trail. You get this super nice view, which is really cool. Poldice is an old mine, so you get to see a little bit of history. Even got the mine, the engine house just there. Don't know if you can see that. Hopefully the wind dies down, I can get some cool drone shots here. What we'll do is go back up and have a little ride of this bit. It's so windy down here. It's probably the windiest it's been. What I'm going to do is do a lap of it. We'll have a look at this drop, maybe have a look at the potential lines you can do on it, and then we'll go and do a full lap from the top. Quite scared about that jump, as I keep saying. The wind's super sketchy when it takes your front wheel, but we'll get it done. Once again, we're going to do the bottom section. Stay right on this so you don't go over the edge. It's quite easy to find a good flow on this trail. So to drop it, you're basically going to want to come through here, because I've never dropped this. I didn't even realise there was actually a drop. I just don't want to get taken out by the wind, but we'll give it a go. So you have to stay kind of left. There you go. That's probably actually safer if you're competent with jumping than actually bobbling down the routes like I just did. So there we go, that's all of the sections looked at. We've ridden each section piece by piece. So now all that we have to do is go to the very top and do it all together. So let's go back to the top, piece all of it together. I'm going to do a running commentary as I go. Let's hope I don't get caught by the wind, because that wouldn't be ideal. Let's go. Bush, getting blown around. Going to do a full lap, piece it all together. This is Berkshire World. Let's get it. Rob. Super sick berm. Jump the roots. It's like deja vu, isn't it? Rob. Ooh. That one's quite kicky. You get bucked forwards a little bit. Hope this jump doesn't kill me. Oh, every time. Right, now we go to berms, stay left. You really bash these berms. Oh, big smack every time. We've got the exposed berm down into the rock garden. Super enduro-y. And then the portal, hit the drop. There we go, out to the bottom. What a run. That's such a sick run, and it's so good because you can enjoy it even when it's windy. So there we go, guys, the rain has started to come down. That is the end of the video. That is so gross. I hope you enjoyed the second part of my Poldice trail guide. The wind often writes Poldice off, or so you people think, because obviously a lot of people think it's just the massive cool jumps, and it's not just that. If you come up here and it's too windy or the wind comes in, there's still trails you can shred that are quite long, quite enjoyable. So if you guys enjoyed this video, consider letting me know in the comments, hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and bell button. That notifies you when I post a video, and it helps me out massively, like more than you know. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Upcoming are some recommended videos from me. Catch you again soon, guys. Shred on.